No, Spotswood 7-1 overall, winners of 7 in a row. Harrisonburg 5-3 overall, and own a 3-game winning streak over their rivals to the east.
Yeah, and this has kind of been a collision course since about the Shenandoah Valley High School Football Classic, where you could clearly tell at that point of the season, Harrisonburg, especially getting healthy with Marcus Robinson Jenkins, along with Spotswood, which after taking that loss early against East Rock, has just straightened things out, has been a machine since then. It was a collision course for these two teams to meet tonight for the winner taking the Valley District Championship. Now, of course, all it is a trophy, all it is a banner for the school, because both of these teams being in two separate divisions, of course, they're looking towards the postseason. Harrisonburg has to win to keep pace in the 5A standings, and of course, Spotswood has positioned itself at this point to host a first-round game in 3A.
When you take a look at Region 3C, Spotswood comes into tonight number 3 behind Heritage out of Lynchburg and the Brookville Bees. Spotswood playing the 5A school. A win tonight, perhaps they may win. They may host 2 playoff games, granted if they win the first one.
Yeah, and I mean that's the big thing for them is by playing Harrisonburg, they're going to get those bonus points for playing 2 divisions up, which is why with Harrisonburg seated currently at the 5th position, in order for them to keep pace and to ensure that they're going to be able to make it into the playoffs, they need to come out of here with a victory more than caring about the Valley District Championship, because if they take a loss, they may fall farther down. They may even fall out of the playoffs altogether.
You look at Region 5D, the top 4 spots owned by Fredericksburg area schools. Then you've got Harrisonburg in 5th, but their lead over 6th place Patrick Henry, 7th place Albemarle, and 8th place Halifax County. That's not too much. And then, of course, you got Stafford in 9th place. They're right now in the team that's outside looking in, and it was that Stafford team a year ago that ended Harrisonburg's season.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of familiar teams when you take a look at the standings because, of course, who's leading out of Spotswood but Heritage Lynchburg, which was a team that Spotswood had to go to Lynchburg and certainly took a tough defeat in that matchup, and that was a very skilled offensive team. Now, of course, they've graduated a lot of that talent, but judging by their record and judging by the standings, it seems like it's the normal suspects in both of those divisions as to who those two teams will face should they make it into the postseason.
Of course, the rain continues to fall here, and of course, both teams have to play in it, but if you have to say which team it favors over the other, what would you say?
So, it's kind of hard to say. Because at first I think the easy answer would be I think it favors Spotswood, because what Harrisonburg has is they have a lot of speed, and out here on this track it's going to be very slippery for players like Marcus Robinson Jenkins, Victor Lynch, and of course Quentin Smiley in order to get their footing. So there could be the possibility of I guess some misplays that they could take advantage of. Now, the thing that's going to hurt Spotswood is they're also a team that likes to throw the football. I think when you take a look at those...
Go to TeleMediaProductions.com. Tune in every Friday night. Live stream begins at 6:50. Go to TeleMediaProductions.com. Shenandoah Valley Sports Game of the Week.
Back, we'll have more of the Golden Corral pregame show in a moment as you listen to the WSVA Superior Concrete Game of the Week on WSVA and WSVAOnline.com.
Not everyone has a man cave, but everyone has something that deserves to be shared and preserved. A jersey, a poster, an autograph, or even a family photo. This is
Eagle Carpet has been serving the Valley for the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
Integrity, transparency, and dependability. Grace Custom Builders can make your forever home a reality, building a solid foundation to stand the test of time while adding a touch of grace. Learn more online at gracecustombuilders.com or call 540-830-2461.
Here at Excel Heating and Cooling, we're proud to offer service you can trust, along with Lennox products that can help keep you comfortable and save you money. This fall, Excel Heating and Cooling is offering up to $1,600 in rebates or up to $6
Bob Wade Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade, whose vision was to help people buy cars with professionalism and care. Today we have those same values that provide the car buying experience with that personal touch that you won't find anywhere else. Only at Bob Wade Subaru. Score it the Wade way.
Live and local in the Valley. News Talk 92.1 and 550 WSVA.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.
Trailblazers is their defense. It starts up front on that defensive line where last week they were getting all types of penetration. They were making it very difficult on Ty Ruley to throw the football, and for a high-powered offense like Rockbridge that was able to, pretty much average about 300 yards passing per game, they held them to about 150 to 170 yards passing. So the defense really stepped up last week. Now, what they're going to get today is a bit different, where Rockbridge was more of a pass-oriented team. It's going to be an option-style run offense for Harrisonburg. So it's going to have to be assignment football, make sure that they stay in their lanes to try to shut down this physical offensive line for the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks.
Both teams have made their way out onto the field. Captains are meeting at the 50-yard line. Time now for our coin toss, brought to you by Allergy and Asthma Associates, located on the corner of Neff and Medical Avenue in Harrisonburg. They help you breathe easier. Among the captains for Harrisonburg, Marcus Robinson Jenkins, Victor Lynch, Jaheim Anderson, and Tyler Dean. Spotswood will have the option in the first half. They've elected to take the football. They're going to defend the south end of the stadium. So as you listen on your WSVA radio dial, Harrisonburg will kick off. They'll go from our left to right, and Spotswood will get the football. We'll go from our right to left. Connell Ischinger, one of the captains tonight for Spotswood. Coin toss brought to you by Allergy and Asthma Associates, located on the corner of Neff and Medical Avenue in Harrisonburg. They help you breathe easier.
Taking a look at the Bob Wade Auto World keys to the game, I think it's got to be the weather. Taking a look at how these two teams are going to be able to deal in these conditions, and when it's slick like this, which team is going to commit the least amount of turnovers and the least amount of errors to come out of here with the victory and the Valley District Championship. Those Bob Wade Auto World keys to the game brought to you by Bob Wade Auto World on the Motor Mile in Harrisonburg. Score with the Wade Way.
Time now for the game time and temperature, brought to you by Serve Pro of Harrisonburg. 7 o'clock here in Harrisonburg, 43 degrees under rainy conditions. Serve Pro of Harrisonburg for cleanup and restoration from Rockbridge to Strasburg. Call 433-6100. Serve Pro, like it ever even happened. Blue Streaks getting set to kick off. 2 men back for the Blazers. Harrisonburg in their home blue jerseys with the white pants, the white numbers, the blue helmets with the white H on both sides. Spotswood in the road white jerseys, blue pants, blue numbers, blue helmets with the Spotswood insignia on both sides. It is Mateo Perrick, the junior, with the football on the tee. Time now for a Landis Heating and Cooling kickoff. And with the play-by-play of tonight's contest, here's Brian Shiflett.
Thank you, sir. Robert Smith, along with Anthony Dooms. Also Connell Ischinger back there for the receipt of this kickoff. And it's an onside kick early. The ball is loose, and it's still loose. Spotswood diving on top. It looks like Harrisonburg may have position on the bottom.
Mad scramble for it, so an onside kick to start the game. And as they unpile, the ball will belong to, I believe, the Blue Streaks.
It is Harrisonburg football. So, well,
good start.
I haven't seen any sign from the official. And now they're caucusing, and now they will give it to Spotswood.
When you have, I believe, Austin White, that's going to hand the ball to the referee, but The referee's pointing towards Spotswood Way, and so the Blazers will get the football and in good field position, 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So trying to take early advantage of the wet conditions. They go with the onside kick. It went off one of the up men. But somehow, Harrisonburg, who came up with the football, does not get possession. So they're going to go tight with the wing T formation early for Spotswood. High turns, hands it off to Barnhart. Barnhart off the left side. He gets across midfield before he's dragged down from behind. I say it's a pickup of about 5 yards on first down as they are down to the 48-yard line on Harrisonburg's side of the field.
Jose Ayala, the junior, in on the tackle for the Blue Streaks, but a good play for Spotswood, and one play into the game, they're scrimmaging on the Harrisonburg side of the field.
Well, now they're going to spread it out. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. And I believe that's Brown in the backfield with High. High's going to look to pass. Now he's under pressure. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's across the 45-40, and he scoots out of bounds at the 37-yard line. A Munger Lumber first down for Spotswood, and he was immediately under pressure and was able to find a hole in the defensive line and pick up that first down.
Well, that's good news if you're a Harrisonburg fan, as they put tremendous pressure on High, as they had 3 guys in there, but great job by High stepping up in the pocket, gets away from the pressure, and he picks up 11 yards on the scramble and the first down of this game.
I think it was a screen the way the offensive line just let them through. Now High's under pressure once again, gets away from one tackler, gets away from another, throws it down the field, catch is made there by the tight end, who barrels over top of a defender, and he's across the 30-yard line down to the 28, close to a Munger Lumber first down. On the catch was Hunter Armentrout.
And again, second play in a row, great pressure by the Harrisonburg front, but they failed to wrap up, and High not only gets away, but gets the pass complete to Armentrout, and I believe you're going to tack on more on a penalty against Harrisonburg. And I believe they roughed the passer. So you get the completion and the penalty, and the football is going to be down inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. So Spotswood's going to scrimmage in the Grace Custom Builders home red zone.
They're going to go back to the double tight end, double wing formation. Under one side is Brown. On the other side is Barnhart. Dropping back. It's Brown across the right side. He squirts his way across the 10-yard line down to the 9-yard line. Second down upcoming for the Trailblazers.
Pierre Mbala in on the tackle for Harrisonburg, but Spotswood continues to march down the field. They're now inside the 10, where it'll be second down and about 3 yards to go for a first down and about 8 yards for a touchdown.
Toss once again goes to Brown off the right side. Not much going there. Was able to work his way forward for a gain of a couple, but it will be third down.
John Jackson, the junior linebacker, in on the tackle for Harrisonburg. No gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 3.
Well, it looks like the officials were...
No, they were generous and gave them 1.
And did give them 1. 3rd down and 2.
I would imagine with weather conditions, I know Spotswood has a good field goal kicker in Griffith, but this might be 4-down territory.
Handoff goes to Brown, who dives for the goal line, and he's in for the touchdown.
That's a great run by Brown. Great balance that time, too. Is able to tiptoe past a couple of defenders, lunge into the end zone, and Brown gives Spotswood the early lead with 9:35 to go in the first period.
On for the Grandview Equipment extra point, Avery Atwell, the 6'3", 185-pound senior. The hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good. And it is good. 9:35 to play here in the first quarter. Our score, Spotswood 7, Harrisonburg nothing. As you're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week here on WSVA, WSVAOnline.com.
Let Husqvarna and Grandview
Eagle Carbon has been serving the valley for the past 54 years and and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl plank, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpets.
Take the opening kickoff, recover the onside kick, go 53 yards in 6 plays. It took them 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Brennan Brown, the touchdown run on 3rd down, and the extra point was good by Griffith. That scoring summary brought to you by Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated. Order online, papajohns.com. Blazers on top 7-0. Time now for a Landis Heating and Cooling kickoff.
Of course, that drive all started on that weird onside kick that somehow Alston White came out of the pile with the football, but the officials gave the football to Spotswood. So now here's Atwell on a little pop kick to the right side. It is loose on the turf as well before a Harrisonburg up man able to cover it up, and they will start this drive at the 45-yard line, well, maybe the 44-yard line of Harrisonburg.
Gabe Perot, number 17, in on the recovery. So both teams start with traditional, basically onside kicks. One was on the ground, the other was pooched in the air. So Harrisonburg now starts its opening possession with good field position, 1st and 10 at its 46.
Quentin Smiley is going to be working from the pistol. Behind him is number 2, which is Marcus Robinson Jenkins. Now he steps to the side. Smiley going to go straight up the middle himself. He squirts away from run tackler, but does not get away from a second one. On the initial hit was number 70, looked like number 76, but I do not. Well, they're going to say Sean and Morris on the tackle.
Not much running room there. Good job by the middle of the defensive line for Spotswood. No gain on the play as Smiley comes into tonight with nearly 2,000 yards of total offense.
So now Smiley going to run the option to the right. He pitches it to Marcus Robinson Jenkins. He's got some space. He's across midfield before he is taken down after a pickup of 6 yards. All right, that's going to bring up 3rd and manageable. Looks like he was actually catapulted forward, so give him a pickup of 7.
Robert Smith did that, threw him forward for a gain of 7, and so Harrisonburg will face a 3rd and 3 now on the Spotswood side of the field at the 47-yard line.
2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Working from the shotgun is Smiley. Smiley sends a man into motion. Takes a snap, drops the football, ball's loose on the turf, and it's picked up by number 44 for the Spotswood Trailblazers, Hunter Armentrout. And there's those mistakes we were talking about in the pregame, how these wet conditions were going to lead to the opportunity for a couple of turnovers.
Actually, I just don't think he was expecting the snap. He was not expecting it. Ball hit him right in the chest. And it goes to the ground, and the ever-present Hunter Armentrout, the 6'3", 250-pound sophomore, makes the recovery, and Spotswood takes over 1st and 10 at midfield with 8:14 to go in the first period and leading 7-0.
So now here's High. He's going to look to pass. He throws it over the middle, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by number 50, Tyler Dean.
An ill-advised throw as High was rolling to his right. That's the far side of the field. He tried to throw it back into the middle. Cardinal rule is never throw it back toward the middle. Right there was the ever-waiting senior linebacker, Tyler Dean. He makes the interception, and so back-to-back turnovers. And the Blue Streaks get it right back, 1st and 10 at its 40-yard line with 8:06 to go in the first period.
And I have no idea who he was looking for.
I think he was looking for Armentrout as tight end.
So the Blue Streaks now have the football at their own 40. Keeping it himself is Quentin Smiley, who lowers his head, picks up a yard.
78 Colby Morris and 74 Dallas Khalil combined to make the tackle after a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They do give him 2. So from the Harrisonburg 42-yard line, Marcus Robinson Jenkins next to Quentin Smiley. He sends Austin White into motion. White takes the handoff. He's coming on the jet sweep. Closing in from the safety position to make the tackle was Robert Smith. And that's going to be a loss of 2 and bring up a 3rd and 10.
Robert Smith, as you mentioned, came up from his safety position and came up quick and tackled 1 for a loss of 2, and that'll be 3rd down and 10 for Harrisonburg.
Harrisonburg has yet to attempt a pass. And where we thought the wet conditions would make it difficult for Spotswood to pass, it looks like they're essentially just keeping their standard offensive game plan. Robinson Jenkins to the left of Smiley. Smiley's going to look to pass. He's looking to set up a screen. That kind of gets blown up. Now he's looking to make a play. He tries the left side. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got half a yard, but it's going to be 4th and long, as once again that Spotswood defensive line wreaking havoc on the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks.
And it was the defensive end Ryan Schunk who ran him down and made the tackle. Schunk had a very good game defensively last week against Rockbridge and is in on that tackle. No gain. He gets 1 yard on the scramble. We'll give him 1, and it will be now make it 4th down, and Harrisonburg's in punt formation.
Back to receive the punt is Connell Lischinger and Robert Smith. Perrick takes the snap, a high end-over-end punt, and Robert Smith going to let it hit and bounce. Because of the wet turf, it just kind of sticks at the 19-yard line. So the Spotswood 19-yard line is where the Trailblazers will start this drive. 5:54 to play here in the first quarter. Spotswood with a 7-0 lead.
40 yards on the punt, nothing on the return, so a good net there for Mateo Perrick and Harrisonburg. Spotswood takes over again. They'll spot it at the 19-yard line. 5:54, just past the midway point of this first quarter. Spotswood on top 7-0.
Looks like Spotswood going to go back to the wing T formation. They do have 1 wide receiver split to the right. Actually, no, it's more of the power I. Now that they set them down, turning, they hand it off to the up man. I believe that's Conahan. Conahan trying to find a hole. He gets across the 20-yard line, may get 2 on the carry, depending on the spot.
Good tackle that time by 45. John Jackson again. Also had help from Austin White, and they combined to stop Conahan after a gain of only 1. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, it was just 1. As they are to the 20-yard line, once again working from the power I. They're going to go 1 wide receiver each side. High under center, takes the snap, turn, hands it off to Brown. Brown trying to bounce it outside. Nothing going there as he is snowed under by a group of Harrisonburg Blue Streaks over there.
Gabe Perot, the first man to hit him, and the rest of his teammates were there to bring him down. Again, tremendous penetration by the Harrisonburg defense, and it will be a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll set up 3rd and 12.
It was Tyler Dean that kind of blew up the middle of that line, forced Brennan Brown to bounce it outside where Gabe Perot was waiting for him. Now working from the shotgun. High's going to look to pass. He's under pressure. He gets away from one tackler, gets away from another, throws it down the field. Catch is made on the sideline by number 4. A great toe-tapping catch by Quentin Hayes. And they're going to say he made the catch. And it's going to be enough for a Munger Lumber first down as they get up to the Spotswood 30-yard line.
Well, that was all Ryan High there because 2 men were bearing down as Spotswood's now starting to move the pocket. As on 3 pass plays, Harrisonburg's had tremendous pressure, so they're moving the pocket, and High was able to get away from 2 defenders and throw a beautiful pass to Hayes, who toe-tapped it. They needed 12. They got 13, and it's a first down.
So now here's the handoff on the end around to Barnhart. Barnhart fighting his way forward. He's close to the 40-yard line. They give him the 41, which is another Munger Lumber first down, a pickup of 11.
Tyler Dean makes the tackle, but that 3rd down conversion has given an extra pep to the step of the Spotswood offense, and now they're looking at as they are going to spot the ball at the 39. He's about a half a yard shy of a first down. It'll be 2nd down and a half a yard.
So they mark it back 2 yards. Once again, from the wing T formation, they give it to the up man. That's Conahan. Conahan off the right side. This time, he has the Munger Lumber first down.
Number 31, ball carrier.
That'll be 4 first downs for Spotswood in this first period, none for Harrisonburg. They'll move the chains as Conahan picks up 3, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blazers at the 42-yard line.
Robert Smith going to come out to the near side for Spotswood.
1st and 10.
And a wing T formation on the middle of the field. They turn. Handoff goes to Barnhart. Barnhart's got some space across midfield, across the 45, and he's driven out of bounds at the 40-yard line, but it looks like there is a flag back on the Spotswood side of the field, and
I believe
it will be coming back.
Yeah, thrown by the line judge, and I think they got the end on this side hooking the defensive end of Harrisonburg, and so that's going to nullify a nearly 20-yard gain by Barnhart, and that'll be the first penalty of the game against Spotswood, and it's a big one. They'll put the football back at the 38-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 14, so we'll give Barnhart 6 yards on the carry, and then the 10-yard penalty puts the ball back to the 38, and it's 1st and 14 for the Blazers.
Clock is stopped, 4 minutes to play. Now they start to wind the clock here in the first quarter. Well, the official made the symbol to wind the clock. Now they go. From the power I, they turn. Handoff goes to Brown. Brown sidesteps one tackler, gets hit hard from the secondary by number 22, Jose Ayala, who came over to finish off the tackle.
Yeah, after Jalen Smith was the first man to hit him, Ayala was there to finish him off. Still a pretty good game, though, on first down, as Brown picked up 5, make it 6. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
From the Spotswood 44, another wing T formation. They turn, hand it off to Brown. Brown going to try the right side. He sidesteps a tackler before he's taken down close to the 48-yard line of Spotswood, and 3rd and manageable going to be coming up for the Trailblazers as we come up on 3 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Marcus Robinson Jenkins made the tackle. Harrisonburg came in on a run blitz that time, and Spotswood almost caught him by going off tackle. But Marcus Robinson Jenkins was able to trip up Brown after a gain of 4. So he got half of what he needed. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for Spotswood.
Wing T once again, one wide receiver split to the right. Now man goes into motion. Handoff goes to Conahan. Conahan, ball loose on the floor, or excuse me, the turf, and he picks it up.
But no gain on the play. It'll be 4th down. So although Harrisonburg didn't recover, it in essence works as a turnover because Spotswood's going to have to punt.
On the play, recovered by
So no gain. Ball will stay at the Spotswood 48-yard line. And I believe that's Avery Atwell once again on for the punt. Back to receive the punt. Is that Jakeem Anderson and Austin White. Snap is good. Punt a wobbly one. It will hit at the 30-yard line, take a Spotswood bounce, and be down at the 24-yard line, as I believe the rain starts to pick up in pace once again with 1:59 to play here in the first quarter.
28 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. So the Blue Streaks have it 1st and 10 at their 24-yard line with a tick under 2 minutes to go in this first period. And the Blazers, who scored on their first possession, continue to lead 7-0.
Spread formation for the Blue Streaks. 3 to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Working from the pistol, well now he moves Robinson Jenkins to the left. He's going to try the left side, is Smiley. Dives across the 25-yard line, slides forward, and we'll have to see where exactly they spot it. Looks like it's going to be close to a 5-yard gain up to the 29-yard line.
78, Kobe Morris leading the charge defensively for Spotswood, but still a nice gain by Smiley. 5 yards on first down. I now have him at 8 yards on 4 carries.
Once again working from the pistol, 2 receivers each side. Now they move Robinson Jenkins to the left. Smiley turns, hands it off to Robinson Jenkins. He's going to try to bounce it to the outside. He's across the 30. He's being dragged down from behind, fights his way through one tackle, gets across the 40, and he's taken down at the 43-yard line. Good hard-nosed run there by Robinson Jenkins.
That is the first Munger Lumber first down for Harrisonburg. Nice job on the right side of the offensive line. They opened up the hole, And then Marcus Robinson Jenkins was able to break 2 tackles and pick up 14 yards. So Jenkins now up to 21 yards on 2 carries, and the Blue Streaks with a new set of downs, 1st and 10 at their 43.
Inside of 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. Smiley going to run the pitch to the left. He gives it to Robinson Jenkins. He's going to try to come back all the way to the right. He's across the 40, 45, 50, across the 40, 30 before he's taken out of bounds by Robert Smith. Looking for a late hit are the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks. They do not get the call, but they are inside the 30-yard line and down to the Spotswood 29.
Well, Spotswood did a great job initially on the defense. I mean, they defended the option, but failed to make the tackle, and then Robinson Jenkins cut it back across the grain, came down the near sideline before Robert Smith pushed him out of bounds. It's a gain of 28 and a 1st down for Harrisonburg.
Taking the snap is Smiley. He's going to look to throw. Fires it over top of his intended receiver. Out there was number 85, Jason Walker.
Ripley Plaster had the coverage, but it was Walker that had inside position, but the pass was too high, and it will be 2nd down, and that'll stop the clock at 42 seconds to go in the first period.
I believe that was the first pass attempt?
Correct.
For Harrisonburg.
Yep.
Victor Lynch in the backfield with Smiley. Jaheim Anderson goes into motion. They fake the handoff to him. Smiley's going to tuck it and try to run, and he slips down close to the line of scrimmage. He may have picked up 1, but you can see there the wet turf out there jumped up to make the tackle.
Yep. After a gain of 1, I believe Harrisonburg will have to run 1 more play before the end of the quarter.
Smiley with the play cloth. Going to spread it out once again, 2 receivers each side. Robinson Jenkins back in the game. He moves to the left of the formation. Smiley takes the snap. He rolls out to the left. He stops. Now he's going to look to throw. He does out to the left. Catch made by Austin White. White lowers his head, gets across the 10-yard line, and he's out of bounds as the first quarter comes to an end. But it looks like Harrisonburg will have a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line when we come back. Our score, Spotswood 7, Harrisonburg nothing. The Blue Streaks are driving as you're listening to our high school game of the week here on WSVA and WSVAonline.com.
Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade, whose vision was to help people buy cars with professionalism and care. Today we have those same values that provide the car buying experience with that personal touch that you won't find anywhere else. Only at Bob Wade Subaru. Score with the Wade way.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.
Smiley on the right. Smiley going to try to tuck it and run to the right. It is stacked up immediately, and he may have lost a yard.
Colby Morris fought off the block and made the tackle for no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Number 9, Anthony Dooms.
Dooms was there to finish him off as well, but it was Morris that made the play. Some quick stats for you. Smiley, 6 carries, 9 yards. Jenkins, 3 carries, 49 yards. For Spotswood, Barnhart, 2 carries, 11 yards. Brown, 6 carries, 22 yards. Those stats brought to you by Blue Ridge Community College.
They're going to say they did lose a yard, so 2nd and 11 upcoming for the Blue Streaks. 2 receivers each side. Robinson Jenkins in the backfield next to Smiley. He sends White into motion, takes the snap, and somebody moved early.
And that should blow the play dead. It will be a false start against Harrisonburg. And that will be penalty number 2 against the Blue Streaks.
So bring up 2nd down and 16 now. They're going to keep the same formation, 2 receivers each side. Robinson Jenkins in the backfield next to Smiley. Smiley once again sends White into motion, takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Robinson Jenkins goes to the left side. He is stacked up and taken down at the 14-yard line.
74, Dallas Khalil in on the tackle, but the problem with that play was he ran into his own man, and that stopped any momentum he had. And so the ball will be placed at the 16-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 15. A line to make is now near between the 1 and 2 yard line.
Working from the shotgun's going to be Smiley, 2 receivers each side. Robinson Jenkins in the backfield with him. And now, I believe we have a timeout.
Yes, we do. Brought to you by Waterworks Water Treatment. Tap into better water with Waterworks Water Treatment.
Timeout for Harrisonburg. 10:24 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Our score, Spotswood 7, Harrisonburg nothing, as you're listening to our high school game of the week here on WSVA and WSVAonline.com.
The Papa John's Extra Large Pizza deal means you can share a delicious extra large pie with more people. Like who you ask?
We know that every penny counts, and prescription costs add up quickly. That's why at Medicab Pharmacy, our prices are always competitive or better than what you'll find at the big box stores. Just another way we put your needs first.
Turner Ashby.
So 3rd and 15. 2 receivers each side. Smiley takes the snap, flips it out to the left to Robinson Jenkins, but he drops the football.
That was one of those plays there where, you know, normally a Mateo Perrick would be in his range, but in these conditions, I think Coach Thurman just tried to get as much as he can on 3rd down to make his 4th down play a little easier. Just swing it out. It's like a long toss to Jenkins. The problem is Jenkins took his eye off of it, and he dropped it, and it's incomplete. So now it is 4th down, and it's about 4th and 15.
4th and 15 from the 16-yard line. 2 receivers each side. Robinson Jenkins currently behind Smiley. Now he moves to the left. Smiley takes the snap, drops back, looks to pass. Now he's flushed out to his right. He lowers his head, puts on the boosters, but he's going to be stopped at the 5-yard line. 4 yards short of the 1st down, and Spotswood's going to take over at its own 5-yard line.
Well, that time Spotswood only rushed 3. They dropped 8 into coverage. There was nobody to throw to, so Smiley took off, did what he could. He needed 15. He picked up 11, so if nothing else, Spotswood's going to have to go the length of the field. So not all really isn't lost for Harrisonburg. They failed on that possession, but they drove down to the 5-yard line where Spotswood will take over with 10-10 to go in the 1st half. Blazers on top, 7-0.
Tight double tight end, double wing formation for Spotswood. High under center, turns, hands it off to the back coming this way, who gets up close to the 10-yard line.
That's Brennan Brown on the carry, and he picks up about 4 yards on 1st down. Jaheim Anderson leading the charge defensively for Harrisonburg, but a pretty good gain on 1st down for the Blazers. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 9.
9:45 to play in this one. A clock, or a winding clock here in the 2nd quarter. Handoff goes to Barnhart, this time the other direction. He sidesteps one tackler, tries to make another move, but he gets wrapped up. He's still short of the 1st down. I think they're going to give him the 11-yard line. So just a pickup of a couple, 3rd and 4 upcoming for Spotswood.
Yeah, you could see Barnhart there wary of the conditions. He was tiptoeing his way, trying to weave his way through the hole, but a good job on the right side of the defensive line by Harrisonburg. And here's a big 3rd down play.
Turn. Toss goes to Brown. Brown tries to work his way, but he's going to be short of the 1st down as he's up close to the 14-yard line, but he needed to get to the 15-yard line, so he's going to be a full yard short. And the punt team going to come on for Spotswood.
So Harrisonburg's defense does its job, and they stand to get outstanding field position here. Harrisonburg not so sure. Well, now one man will drop deep, but he's standing at the Spotswood 40.
Here's Avery Atwell on for the punt. Catches it, gets the punt away, end over end. It's going to hit at the 46-yard line, scoots by Austin White, and it's going to be down inside the 40-yard line to the 37-yard line. Great punt there by Avery Atwell as he was assisted by the bounce and roll.
That's a tremendous punt. Just when you thought Harrisonburg was going to have great field position, Atwell puts out perhaps one of his best punts of the year, the punt and roll. That's going to be a 50-yard punt, and more importantly, nothing on the return. So a net 50 yards, and Harrisonburg will start first and 10 at its 37, 8:20 to go in the first half. Blazers on top 7-0, but a huge punt by Atwell.
Two receivers each side. Marcus Robinson-Jenkins in the backfield with Quentin Smiley. Smiley from the shotgun takes the snap. He's going to try to run off the left side. Went in, now tries to bounce it. Gets ripped and slung down from behind by number 24, Ethan Barnhart, who just grabbed onto Quentin Smiley's jersey and pretty much body slammed him backwards, and Smiley a little shaken up when he gets up off the turf.
Yeah, he threw him down very hard as he just grabbed the jersey. Looked momentarily that Smiley was able to bounce it outside and turn the corner, but Barnhart just grabbed the jersey and threw him down like a sack of potatoes, and no gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10.
Two receivers each side once again. Marcus Robinson-Jenkins also once again in the backfield. They work from the pistol formation. Smiley takes the snap. They're going to run the option to the left. Smiley keeps it himself. He runs into a defender at the 40-yard line, fights his way forward for another couple of yards, and they're going to mark him down at the 43-yard line. I think that's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Blue Streaks.
Shonkin on the tackle for Spotswood. The option play picks up 6, so it'll be a 3rd down and manageable 4 yards. Smiley, by my count now, 8 carries, 24 yards. Jenkins, the leading ball carrier for the Blue Streaks, he's got 50 yards on 4 carries.
Inside of 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. 7-0, Spotswood leads. 3rd and 4 upcoming for Harrisonburg. Smiley tucks it, tries to get it himself, and he gets buried right at the 44-yard line. He may have picked up a yard.
And that's it. Dallas Khalil, the first man to hit him. Benjamin Conahan there to finish him off. A gain of 1. And the Harrisonburg offense goes 3 and out, and they're going to have to punt. Mateo Perrick's first kick went for 40 yards. 2 men back for Spotswood. They stand at their 25.
Snap is good. Perrick's going to try to run it on the right side. He's going to tuck it. He gets hit and will gain no yards on the fake punt attempt.
Armin Trout and Van Huss, 44 and 14, combined to make the tackle, but Van Huss was the man who also had a good game last week against Rockbridge. Comes up big there. The fake punt does not come to fruition, and Spotswood's got it 1st and 10 at the Harrisonburg 44-yard line. It was Barnhart, 24 and not 44. 24 and 14 combined to make the tackle. 1st and 10, Spotswood at the 44.
I was about to say, would Coach Thurman try to fake it here? I didn't know if he would do it in the rain. On the first down play, they hand it off to Brennan Brown. He fights his way forward, gets up close to the 40-yard line. It'll depend on the spot, but it's at least, I would say, a pickup of 4.
And that was all Brown, too. He dragged several tacklers for about 2 or 3 yards as he gets to the Harrisonburg 40-yard line.
So they do give him 4. Now they go to the wing T formation. Split out to the right is Robert Smith. Toss goes to Brown. Brown tried the right side. Now he breaks it back to the left side. He's across the 30. He's across the 20. It's a foot race, and he's pushed out of bounds close to the goal line, and they are going to mark him out back at the 8-yard line.
Austin White was there to bump him out of bounds, but I believe, yes, he touched the boundary before that. They're going to spot the ball inside the 10, so Spotswood is in the Grace Custom Builders home red zone, and a great cutback by Brown as he cut it back across the grain, and he picks himself up to the 7-yard line, so it's a 33-yard pickup, and it's 1st and goal.
Handoff goes to Conahan, straight up the middle, dives for the end zone. He is in for the touchdown.
Oh, great job by the middle of the offensive line. They popped the fullback Conahan, who goes 7 yards, and so Spotswood taking advantage of the attempted fake punt, and it didn't take them long to find the end zone as they go 44 yards and now have a 2-touchdown lead on the Blue Streaks.
Only took 3 plays. Avery Atwell on for the Grandview Equipment extra point. The snap is good, the hold is down, the kick is up. It looks good, and it is good. 5:12 to play here in the first half. Our score, Spotswood 14, Harrisonburg nothing. As you're listening to our high school game of the week here on WSBA and WSBAonline.com.
Most days at Superior Concrete begin with the same question.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for...
Eagle Carpet has been...
So we'll see here if Spotswood elects to kick it deep. Atwell on for the Landis Heating and Cooling kickoff. Another pop kick. It's going to be taken at the 35-yard line, working his way to the right, picking up a couple of extra yards before he's taken down. I believe it's going to be a return of 7 yards up to the 42-yard line.
Austin White on the return. Connell Lischinger makes the tackle, and the Blue Streaks will take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, down by 2 scores.
Well, actually, they do mark it back at the 40, so just a return of 5 yards.
Blue Streaks have, I believe, just make it 2 first downs in this first half. They got to get the offense going, but, you know, the Spotswood defense, since that first game, they've given up, 10 points a game in that 7-game winning streak?
So they got 2 receivers each side. Ball's loose on the field once again. It's still loose, and it's going to be recovered by Spotswood. Another turnover.
And it's that man again, John Van Huss, on the recovery. A bad exchange. That's what happens sometimes, too, when you're in that pistol. And it was never really handled by the quarterback. Smiley went right through his hands, and he couldn't recover it. Van Huss makes the recovery. 2nd turnover against Harrisonburg. And the Blue Streaks are going to set up on the front porch, 1st and 10 at the Harrisonburg 34-yard line.
And Spotswood leads 14-0. 4:59 to play here in the first half. High going to go under center. Wing T formation, turns, hands it off to Barnhart. Barnhart goes around the left side, gets across the 30-yard line, dives forward, gets up close to the 28-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards.
36, Charles Omiyaka, the senior, one of the men in on the tackle for Harrisonburg, but it's gut check time now for the Harrisonburg D. down 14-0. You don't want to go down by 3 scores, but Spotswood's now got 2nd and 4 at the Harrisonburg 28.
Turns, hands off, goes to the fullback, fighting his way forward. He's stacked up, driven backwards. Looks like we have a flag in the middle of the play as well, as that was Myers on the carry.
Number 34, Cole Myers. Flag on the play.
And it will be face mask against Harrisonburg, and that will give Spotswood a Munger Lumber first down.
It's also, I believe, going to take them into the Grace Custom Builders home red zone, because I think it's the 15 variety.
We'll see. It's
just a yard out.
Yep, their 5-yard penalty, or the 5-yard penalty puts the ball at the 21.
Thought I saw the official motion 15. May have been mentioning something else. So they go back to the wing T formation. Turns, hands off, goes to Brown. Brown fights his way forward. He's into the red zone this time. Taken down at the 17.
By 24, Casey Blankenship, the senior.
Number 22, Jose Ayala, and number 24, Casey Blankenship.
Given 4 yards on first down. Brings up 2nd and 6.
Brown up to 69 yards on 11 carries.
Split out to the right is Smith. Turn, hands off, goes to Barnhart. Barnhart going to try the left side. He's spun and taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Jaden Smith in on the tackle.
Number 30, Jalen Smith.
And I believe
third down.
No gain on the carry.
So it is going to be 3rd down. I think they took it from one side of the 17 and set it down on the other side of the 17. So we'll call it 3rd and 6. One receiver split out to the left. Wing T formation for Spotswood. High under center. Turns. Hands it off to Barnhart. Barnhart left side. Picks his way. Buries his head. He's going to be short of the first down. He got across the 16-yard line. I think they're going to mark it down at the 15.
Yep, ran right into his blocker. Morris was trying to lead the way, but Harrisonburg had 2 men standing him up, and Barnhart ran right into him, and it cost him all of his momentum. Blue Streaks were able to get him down.
They're going to mark it down at the 14. So they got across the 15 to the 14. And 4th down and 3.
Big play for the Harrisonburg defense here. They need a stop.
Rain continues to fall. Man goes into motion. It's Myers who takes the fullback plunge. He gets the Munger Lumber first down, and he works his way inside the 10-yard line down to the 9.
And that's got to feel good for Myers, because remember, he put the ball on the ground a couple of times last week against Rockbridge, but a good job by Coach Dale Shiflett going back to him, giving him an opportunity. And they moved everybody to the right, making it feel like it was going to be a buck sweep to the right, but they snuck the fullback up the middle, and Myers picks up 5 yards, and it's 1st and goal.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Toss goes to Brown coming to the right side. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, works his way forward for a yard. 2nd and goal upcoming.
Now Brown at 70 yards on 12 carries unofficially. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Not only does Spotswood want to score, but they want to take their time as well, as we have under 100 seconds to go in the first half.
They do set it down at the 7, so a gain of 2 for Brown. Brown goes in motion once again. He gets the toss. He gets hit in the backfield, works his way forward across the 10, and I think gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so a loss of 2, but still hard-nosed running to get back to the line of scrimmage, as he was hit in the backfield by Mbala.
Yep, and then he rode hurt on him. Give credit, though, he didn't give up, and he turned a 3 or 4 yard loss into maybe no gain. He got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd down and goal, as we have exactly 1 minute to go in the first half.
So they do mark it down at the 8. I guess say lost 1. They do line up in the wing T formation. High going to look to pass. He rolls out to the left, stops. Now he's going to try to run. He tucks it, fights forward.
Fumbled
the
ball.
Loose?
Ball's
the
on
ball
the ground.
Is loose, and it is a touchback
Harrisonburg
as Harrisonburg recovers in the end zone.
A big play for the Harrisonburg D as High was struggling. He reached the ball out to get it close to the goal line, and I believe it was 43. Blake Metcalf on the recovery, and a big stop for the Harrisonburg D. If the Blue Streaks come back and win this game, remember that play as High was scrambling, struggling, reached the ball out, and it got knocked away. And Harrisonburg dodges a huge bullet with 39 seconds to go in the first half.
So Spotswood ends up taking about 4.5 minutes off the clock. And they come away empty. Smiley's going to look to pass. Throws up a wounded duck, and it's almost intercepted as it goes off the hands of an intended receiver. Or up the hands of a defender, which was Barnhart, I believe.
No, it's Van Huss.
Yeah, Van Huss back there.
And it hit him between the 1 and the 4. He was like a center fielder as a wounded goo. It was a wounded duck in the air. And I was getting ready to say, does Chris Thurman, dodge a bullet, go into the locker room? He gets the ball to start the second half. Instead, he aired it out, and he got away with one.
They're going to spread it out once again. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 33 seconds on the clock. This time, they run it with Marcus Robinson Jenkins. He slipped in the backfield, fights his way forward for a couple of yards. The clock will continue to run, but I will say that now I think Coach Thurman happy just taking this into the half. Well, the clock stops at 10.3. They were working their way to the left. Who called timeout?
Nobody did. The clock's running.
Now the clock is running. You're right. And time expires here on the first half. So a game of turnovers. There was 2 turnovers for each team. 2 fumbles for Harrisonburg, an interception, and a fumble for Spotswood. But the Spotswood Trailblazers take a 14-0 lead into the half. So coming up next, we have our J&N Car Care halftime show. As you're listening here to our high school game of the week, it is Spotswood 14, Harrisonburg nothing. You're listening here on WSVA and WSVAonline.com.
Bob Wade Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade.
3 minutes
His
and
vision
a
was to help
rejoin.
people buy cars with professionalism and care.
Today we still have those same values that provides a car buying experience.
31.
Corbett has been serving the Valley for the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
I believe in being more than a Subaru retailer.
I believe in being part of the community.
In setting an example.
In building relationships.
And ensuring the love is felt not just by our customers, but by all.
Not because it's just good for business.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Bob Wade Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade, whose vision was to help people buy cars with professionalism and care.
Today we have those same values that provide the car buying experience with that personal touch that you won't find anywhere else. Only at Bob Wade Subaru. Score it the Wade way.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. It's hard to stop a train.
We know that every penny counts, and prescription costs add up quickly. That's why at Medicab Pharmacy, our prices are always competitive or better than what you'll find at the big box stores. Just another way we put your needs first.
Eagle Carpet has been serving the Valley for the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for a reason.
To Spotswood at their at the 44-yard line of Harrisonburg. It'll only take them 3 plays, 44 yards, 54 seconds off the clock, and Conahan goes from 7 yards out for the touchdown run. The PAT was good, and it was 14-0. On the ensuing drive, starting at 5:12 to play in the first half, Harrisonburg would fumble once again. Spotswood would recover it at the Harrisonburg 34-yard line. They would take about 4.5 minutes off the clock as they worked their way down. But Ryan High, in trying to escape the pressure, worked his way across the 5-yard line. I'm not sure if he was diving for the goal line, but he loses the football. It rolls into the end zone. Harrisonburg recovers for a touchback. Harrisonburg would try to take one shot down the field. It was almost intercepted, and then that's when Coach Thurman elected to then just hand it off, let the clock run out, and the first half came to an end with a score of Spotswood 14, Harrisonburg nothing. That scoring summary brought to you by Papa John's Pizza, locally owned and operated. Order online at papajohns.com. So coming up next, here on our J&N Car Care halftime show, we'll take a look at scores from around the area. There's like a big football game going on in Woodstock as the Riverheads Gladiators, that's in Greenville. So in Greenville, as the Riverheads Gladiators take on the Central of Woodstock Falcons. We'll also get you updated on all the other scores from around the area. We'll also take a look at our Blue Ridge Community College game statistics as you're listening to the J&N Car Care halftime show here on WSVA, WSVAonline.com.
In the nation, nationwide agents go above and beyond to understand and protect
go ahead and
what
take
matters most to
3
you.
more minutes.
If you have a baby, move, get a new car,
East
get a
Fox
second
up
car,
35.
or add a new driver to your work. They'll make sure you have something for you.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for
Whether you need a car to drive, a place to sleep, or a hot meal for your
Luray,
family, a prepaid on-your-side claims card can be loaded to provide track fast. Nationwide is on your side. Contact your local Nationwide insurance agents. Jenkins Insurance, 434-8388. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Bob Wade Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade, whose vision was to help people buy cars with professionalism.
For the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
92.1 and 550 WSVA, Harrisonburg.
Welcome back to Harrisonburg High School. Mario Retrosi along with Brian Shiflett. It is the J&N Car Care halftime show with Spotswood on top of the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks by a score of 14-0. Taking a look at the first half statistics. Spotswood with 7 first downs. The Blazers unofficially rushed for 119 yards. In the passing department, Ryan High was 2 out of 3 with an interception for 21 yards. So total offense unofficially for Spotswood in the first half, 140 yards. Spotswood penalized once for 10 yards. They did fumble once and they lost it. And Ayala punted, or not Ayala, but Atwell. Avery Atwell punted twice and averaged 39 yards a kick. For Harrisonburg, I had them with just 2 first downs in that first half. In the rushing department, they had 76 yards. In the passing department, Smiley was 1 out of 4 for 17 yards. So unofficially total offense in that first half, 93 yards, again compared to 140 for Spotswood. Harrisonburg penalized 3 times for 24 yards. Harrisonburg put the ball on the ground twice and lost it both times, so each team with 2 turnovers. And Harrisonburg punted once for 40 yards. Individual statistics, we mentioned the passing stats and the rushing stats. Spotswood's Barnhart, 20 yards on 6 carries. High carried once for 11. Brown, by my count, 13 carries, 70 yards. Conahan, 4 carries, 11 yards, including the 7-yard touchdown run. Brown also had a 7-yard touchdown run among his 70 yards. And Myers, 2 carries, 7 yards. For Harrisonburg, Marcus Robinson Jenkins, 53 yards on 5 carries. Smiley, 25 yards on 9 carries. White carried once and lost 2 yards. Those halftime statistics brought to you by Blue Ridge Community College, where careers start here. Go online today at brcc.edu to see what they have to offer.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our Wampler & Associates Rehab scoreboard. Of course, this is the only Valley District game being played tonight due to the weather conditions. 2 Valley District games were played last night. Another 300-yard passing performance by Nick Lohr from Broadway as Broadway defeats Turner Ashby 58-28. The Gobblers are now on a 3-game win streak, trying to cling to playoff hopes as they've worked their way up to number 10, but they are probably going to need a little bit of help ahead of them, because also last night Fort Defiance defeated Waynesboro 28-13. Rockbridge is off this week.
So Broadway comes in this week ranked number 10. Of course, the top 8 make the playoffs, and Fort Defiance owns that number 8 spot, which is interesting because Broadway beat Fort Defiance. Rockbridge is 7th, and so Broadway still has a chance. They'll close out the season next week against Rockbridge. with a chance perhaps to earn a playoff berth. But you mentioned Nick Lohr. He now has moved his way up to number 2nd. He's 2nd in the Valley District in passing.
Yeah, and he's going to be close to 1,800 yards passing by next week, because I believe he threw for somewhere around 329, and he came into last night's performance with 1,475 yards. So he'll be up close to 1,800 yards passing. Now, you could probably say with Rockbridge sitting at 7th, Fort Defiance sitting at 8th, and then Broadway sitting at 10, that matchup between Rockbridge and Broadway, the winner gets in and the loser probably left out.
Correct, because you've got Fort Defiance sitting at number 8, and they're, I believe, playing Spotswood next week, and so Spotswood's going to be favored in that game. Broadway with a win will not only finish the season 500, but in my estimation will be in the playoffs if they win next week. How about that? What a job by the Gobblers this year.
Yeah, certainly Coach Brad Lutz has his team playing extremely well at this part of the season. So all the games going on being played in the Shenandoah District. Of course, one non-district game that certainly has a lot of attention for teams in this area. It is Riverheads up on Central 20-13. That is at the half. Of course, East Rock, who leads the region, is up on Wilson 35-0. That is in the second quarter. Buffalo Gap all over Stonewall Jackson 42-0. That game is in the second quarter. One game that is at the half as well, R.E. Lee leads Page County 17-0. And it's Luray who got a touchdown with, I believe, 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, is leading Stuart Straff 12-7. Of course, that is getting close to halftime as well.
Take a look at those Region 2B standings. East Rock comfortably at number 1. Central is number 2. And you've got Luray, Clark County, Buffalo Gap, Wilson Memorial, Robert E. Lee, and Strasburg. So even if Central does lose to Riverheads, they've got a big enough gap on number 3, Luray, as well as number 4, Clark County, that Central could still hold on to that number 2 position. Of course, Central will host Strasburg next Friday night to close out the regular season. Those scores brought to you by Wampler & Associates Rehab. Make your choice, Wampler & Associates Rehab, where we don't treat parts, we treat people. You can see them online at wamplerrehab.com. Both teams have made their way out onto the field. That's going to do it for our J&N Car Care halftime show. When your car's happy, you'll be happy. J&N Car Care, located on East Market Street in Harrisonburg. When we come back, the second half of tonight's Valley District contest, it is the Spotswood Trailblazers 14, the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks
being
nothing.
more
Back to
than
the
a
second
Subaru
half of the
retailer.
moment.
I believe in being part of the community.
In setting an example.
And building relationships.
And ensuring the love is felt not just by our customers, but by all.
Not because it's just good for business.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Bob Wade Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade, whose vision was to help people buy cars with professionalism and care.
Today we have those same values that provide the car buying experience with that personal touch that you won't find anywhere else. Only at Bob Wade Subaru. Score it the Wade way.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. It's hard to stop a train.
We know that every penny counts, and prescription costs add up quickly. That's why at Medicab Pharmacy, our prices are always competitive or better than what you'll find at the big box stores. Just another way we put your needs first.
Eagle Carpet has been serving the Valley for the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
Harrisonburg, 6th place Patrick Henry of Roanoke, also Albemarle is in there, Halifax, so Harrisonburg has to win its last 2 games. The Harrisonburg Blue Streaks will get the football to start the second half. They'll defend the south end of the stadium, so as you listen on your WSVA radio dial, Spotswood will kick off. They'll go from our left to right, and Harrisonburg will go from our right to left.
Well, as we start this second half, we'll have to see how Avery Atwell likes to go with the Landis Heating and Cooling kickoff. From the looks of it, I'm going to say maybe another pop kick because he's not getting much of a run up. So he's just about 5 yards from the football. The ball falls off the tee. He sets it up, loses it once again, and I think, well, Conahan stepped up to possibly hold it for him, but now he takes a step back, so they will try once again. So Atwell comes up, goes with a pop kick to the left side. Calling for the fair catch over there was number 17, which is Gabe Perot. And Harrisonburg will start this first drive of the third quarter at the 33-yard line, their own 33-yard line.
Smart play there by Perot. Just didn't take any chances, make the fair catch. Harrisonburg with decent starting field position at the 33. Let's see what adjustments Chris Thurman makes at halftime as the Spotswood defense held the Blue Streaks to under 100 yards of total offense for the entire first half.
I believe we may found a soft spot here, as I don't believe it's raining at the moment. Handoff goes inside to Marcus Robinson Jenkins. Nothing going there, and he actually lost a couple of yards back to the 31.
74, Dallas Khalil, the junior, big 6 foot, 270-pounder. He led the charge, and I believe it'll be a loss of a couple.
Trying to find some puddles to look at, but I think for the moment, may not be raining. Could be good for the second half of this football game as Spotswood leads 14-0. Smiley from the pistol. Takes the snap, gonna run the option to the left, tosses it to Robinson Jenkins, ball loose on the turf. And did Robinson Jenkins get back on top of it?
It's a fight for it, a scrum. Jenkins and a Spotswood player, and Jenkins wins the battle for it. And he out-wrestled Ryan Shunk and makes the recovery. But still, it's going to be a loss of a couple of more. Let's see on the pitch. It was a lateral, and it was behind Jenkins. And Jenkins was very fortunate. Basically, it was a wrestling match, and Jenkins out-wrestled Shunk for the ball. But the ball's back at the 28, and all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 15.
Working from the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Smiley takes the snap. He looks out to the right. Catch is made by Robinson Jenkins. Trying to make a spin move, but he's going to be taken down at the 25-yard line. 3 plays, 3 losses.
And a nice open field tackle by Brennan Brown, as he was there as basically a swing pass to the far side, and Brown made a beautiful one-on-one open field tackle.
Conahan also came in to help clean it up.
That's a loss of 4, so 3 plays, net a minus 9 yards.
On for the punt is Perot, and now we have an official timeout. And I think it may be because of some equipment. Now everything's straightened up to get ready for another punt. 10:15 to play here in the third quarter. Perot gets the punt away. A wobbly, it may have been partially blocked as it skips out of bounds 1 yard beyond the original line of scrimmage. So that first drive for Harrisonburg started at the Harrisonburg 33. Spotswood's first drive is going to start at the Harrisonburg 32.
And you are correct. It was deflected as one of the Blazers got in there and was able to get a paw on it and deflect the football. So that ball was deflected. It will go as a 10-yard kick, and Spotswood's in business. 1st and 10 at the Harrisonburg 32.
Handoff inside to Barnhart. Barnhart breaks it to the outside. 10-5, touchdown. Ethan Barnhart, 32 yards, and just like that, Spotswood back on the board, up 20-0 with the Grandview Equipment PAT upcoming.
Now there's, I tell you what, it was Spotswood that had the message at the locker room. They come out. They stop Harrisonburg on 3 plays, 3 negative plays. They get a deflection on the punt, and then Barnhart just burst up the middle, was able to break the tackle of Tyler Dean, and he goes 32 yards for a big touchdown, and Spotswood's up by 3 scores.
On for the Grandview Equipment PAT, Avery Atwell, kick is up, and the kick is good. 9:59 to play in the third quarter. Our score now, Spotswood 21, Harrisonburg nothing. As you're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week here on WSVA, WSVAOnline.com.
If your car is happy, you'll be happy.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for a reason.
Eagle Carpet has been...
Well, they were lucky enough at the end of the first half to come up with a defensive stop to get a turnover to keep Spotswood from scoring on that drive. But that was just one play for Barnhart breaking it to the outside, getting into the end zone, who for the most part in this game had been quiet. Avery Atwell on for the Landis Heating and Cooling kickoff. Going to be taken by Perot. Perot this time, no fair catch, fights his way forward across the 45-yard line. They're going to say, well, they're going to say he stepped out at the 45. So the Harrisonburg 45-yard line where the Blue Streaks will start this drive.
Colton Good in on the tackle for Spotswood. You mentioned Barnhart had been hemmed in before then. You're right. That 32-yard run for the touchdown now gives him 52 yards on 7 carries. And now let's see what the Blue Streaks down 21-0 can do.
Smiley going to roll out to the right. Now he tucks it, tries to run. He's across the 50. He's got some space. He's across the 40, 35, 30, 20, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
By far the best play of the night by Harrisonburg. Quentin Smiley looked like he was going to be stopped for a little gain, but then he broke out of there and went down the far sideline, and Robert Smith chased him from behind. And it'll be 1st and goal Harrisonburg as the Blue Streaks now in the Grace Custom Builders Home red zone. And they're going to spot the ball at the 7-yard line, so that's a 48-yard run by Smiley.
And we now have a Waterworks water treatment timeout for Harrisonburg. 9:43 to play here in the third quarter. Our score, Spotswood 21, Harrisonburg nothing, but the Blue Streaks are driving. You're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week here on WSVA and WSVAOnline.com.
Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade, whose vision was to help people buy cars with professionalism and care.
Today we have those same values that provide the car buying experience with that personal touch that you won't find anywhere else. Only at Bob Wade Subaru. Score it the Wade way.
Run by Smiley, giving Harrisonburg a 1st and goal at the Spotswood 7-yard line, trying to come back as the Blue Streaks trail 21-0.
They're going to go with a power I, full backfield, 2 lead blockers. The deep back is Robinson Jenkins. Smiley turns, gets it to Robinson Jenkins, tries to pick his way across the right side. Not much going as he couldn't really maneuver the 2 blockers in front of him. And I believe no gain or maybe a yard.
74, Dallas Khalil leading the charge defensively. They'll spot the ball at just outside the 5. So we'll be generous and give him 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Jenkins now up to 53 yards on 7 carries. 2nd and goal from outside the 5 for Harrisonburg.
Once again, full backfield, turn, hands off to Robinson Jenkins. He comes back to the left, gets across the 5. He's close to the goal line, but he's a yard short. 3rd and goal upcoming from the 1.
It looks like a Harrisonburg player is slow in getting up, and that's Marcus Robinson Jenkins.
And I think he may have cramps, judging by the way.
He's trying to stretch that leg. Yep.
Can't really bend that left leg. Trainers come out to help stretch him out. Clock stopped at 8:43 left here in the third quarter. Harrisonburg trying to get on the board as right now they find themselves down by 21. While we have this break in the action, we'll take a timeout as well. 8:43 to play in the third quarter. You're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week here on WSVA and WSVAOnline.com.
We know that every penny counts, and prescription costs add up quickly. That's why at Medicab Pharmacy, our prices are always competitive or better than what you'll find at the big box stores. Just another way we put your needs first.
Eagle Carpet has been serving the Valley for the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
Appears to be okay. It is 3rd and goal, Harrisonburg from the Spotswood 1-yard line. Of course, this is part of a big weekend of football here on WSVA. You've got a Valley District Championship game tonight. JMU Dukes football tomorrow. It's homecoming against Stony Brook. And then on Sunday afternoon, the Washington Redskins take on the New York Giants.
So now Victor Lynch is the deep back. Smiley tries to force his way forward. He's in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown dive by Quentin Smiley. And the Blue Streaks are on the board.
That's what Harrisonburg needed. Down by 3 touchdowns. They come back and march 55 yards, and they're now right back in the contest with 8:34 to go in the third period. Blue Streaks down by 2 scores.
Mateo Pear going for the Grandview Equipment extra point. Grandview Equipment in Bridgewater, your outdoor power equipment headquarters. So there's the snap. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it looks good. 8:34 to play here in the third quarter. Our score now, Spotswood 21, Harrisonburg 7. You're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week here on WSVA and WSVAOnline.com.
Dr. Stephen Pence of Allergy and Asthma Associates says
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro.
Heavy downpours to heavy snowfall. We've got you covered. News Talk 92.1 and 550 WSVA.
Big touchdown drive for Harrisonburg as they go 55 yards in 4 plays. It took 1 minute and 25 seconds. Smiley capped it off with a 1-yard run. Of course, it was Smiley that had the big play, the 48-yard run that gave the Blue Streaks a 1st and goal. And he capped the drive off with a 1-yard quarterback sneak. That scoring summary brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. Time now for a Landis Heating and Cooling kickoff.
Mateo Perrick. I believe with just the one kickoff with the onside kick. See how they elect to play it here. Run up and a squibber down on the ground, and it's going to be covered up by Myers. And they will start this drive at the 25-yard line, their own 25-yard line.
Now it's up to the Harrisonburg defense again, as Spotswood has been, since the middle of the second period, have been able to move the football. Remember, they had a drive down to the goal line where High fumbled, and then they scored on their last possession. So Blue Streaks have been able to move the football here with 8:34 to go in this third period.
Wing T formation for Spotswood. High sets him down, takes the snap, turns, flips it to Brown. Brown out in some space and gets hit from behind, but not before he gets the Munger Lumber first down and picks up 12 yards.
That's just good blocking by the right side of the offensive line and good patient running by Brown as he just picks his way, waits for the blockers to develop, gets a good kick out from Khalil, and he runs up ahead to the 37-yard line, gain of 11, and the Munger Lumber first down. Brown up to 81 yards now on 14 carries.
So now power I, turn, hands off, goes to the deep back. Once again, that's Brown, lowers his head. He's up to the 43-yard line before the pile stops and is driven backwards.
And Bala leading the charge for Harrisonburg defensively, but he had a whole lot of help. Of course, Smiley, the quarterback for Harrisonburg, the leading rusher in the district. Meanwhile, Brennan Brown
pick up a 6 yards on first down.
Has just over 400 yards coming into the game, but he's approaching 100 yards in this game.
Once again, wing T formation turns. Hands off goes to Barnhart. Barnhart runs into his own man and is taken down after just a yard gain.
So now a 3rd and 3. Umbala again, and Perot leading the charge defensively. Now big play for Harrisonburg defensively. It's now 3rd and 3. The line to make, the 47-yard line, clock rolling as we approach 7 minutes to go in this third period. Streaks trailing 21-7.
Coming up on 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Left side, it's Brown. Brown burrows his head, and he has enough for the Munger Lumber first down. I believe he needed 3, and he picked up 4.
And that's a Harrisonburg sailed out. They sent 2 inside backers on a run blitz, and they ran off tackle. And a great job by Brown. Good, hard nose running as he just kept moving the pile, dragging tacklers. 1st and 10, Spotswood at the 48-yard line.
Pick up a 5. So now they turn. Handoff goes to Barnhart. Barnhart left side. Once again, runs up the back of one of his lead blockers. Gets across midfield before he's driven backwards.
Actually, he got a break that time because I think he slipped, and I think the knee touched down at the 50. And, oh, no, the refs did catch it. He did slip down at the 50-yard line. He got up and got an extra couple of yards. but they're going to say the knee touchdown at the 50-yard line. Good call there by the line judge on the far sideline. And it'll be a gain of 2 on the play. So 2nd down and 8.
Wing T formation, turn, hands off goes to Brown. Brown right side, and he gets stacked up, fights his way forward, and he picks up 4 yards down to the 46-yard line.
Now the Blue Streaks are going for the ball. They're just trying to rip the ball, and Brown's got 2 arms on it, and he's just moving the pile. Casey Blankenship leading the charge, but you just see the Blue Streak defenders just trying to rip for the ball, go for the ball, and Brown's just moving the pile, and now you've got a 3rd down and 4 for Spotswood at the Harrisonburg 46.
Tight wing T formation once again. Turns, hands off, goes to whom? And the ball was lost on the turf as I think Ryan High fumbled the handoff, and it's going to be recovered by Harrisonburg. Another turnover.
If I didn't know any better, did they try to – it looked to me like they tried to fumble Ruski, and I think it backfired. It looked like they tried to fumble Ruski.
He lost the football from the snap. He came back and didn't have the football, and Harrisonburg recovers at their own 45-yard line with an opportunity to inch closer.
3rd turnover against Spotswood.
Smiley on the right side takes the snap, rolls out to the right, and picks up a yard.
Left side of the Spotswood defense led by 31, Ben Conahan, the junior. That's the good thing if you're Spotswood. I mean, you just have a defense that is just unbelievable. Again, they've won 7 in a row, and in that 7-game streak, they're only averaging, giving up about 10 points a game. And so when all else fails, you have that defense you can rely on. Smiley picks up a yard. He's up to 72 yards on 13 carries, 2nd and 9.
Smiley from the shotgun takes the snap, hands it off to Robinson Jenkins. Tries the right side. He slips down after a gain of a yard as well. 3rd and 8 upcoming for the Blue Streaks.
Anthony Doones in on the tackle that time for Spotswood. So the Blazers defense coming up big here. 2 plays has netted 3 yards. And so now it's 3rd and 7 Harrisonburg at the 48 as the clock reads 4:10 and it's turning here to go in the 3rd period. Blazers on top 21-7.
Good spot from the officials. Gives him 2 on the carry. 3rd and 7 upcoming. Taking the snap. Smiley going to look to pass. Looks like a screen. Smiley under pressure. He throws the football, and it's going to be intentional grounding, and they're going to say it's incomplete.
Yep. Great pressure by Spotswood. First of all, it was a screen pass, but one of the defenders read it and had the running back covered, and putting the pressure on the quarterback Smiley was Ryan Schonk. Schonk grabbed him, and all Smiley could do was just throw it to the ground. The intentional grounding penalty will put the football all the way back to the 34-yard line. And, of course, in high school, it is a penalty on top of where the grounding occurred. So it's a 5-yard penalty plus the loss of yardage. So the ball's back to the 29. So after the turnover, the Blue Streaks lose 16 yards, and it's 4th and 26.
Mateo Pericon for the punt. Back to receive the punt is Smith and Ischinger. And they just let the ball roll, and it will be down at the 39-yard line of Spotswood, which is where the Blazers will take over with 3:43 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
32 yards on the kick, nothing on the return. And so the Blazers dodge a bullet there and will take over, as Brian mentioned, at the 39-yard line at 21-7.
They go back to the wing T formation. I think right now it just looks like Spotswood just going to try to turn up some clock. They hand it off to Barnhart. Barnhart on the left side. Works his way across the 40-yard line up to the 42, maybe the 43. And the clock continues to wind, 3:25.
Mbala and Dean combined to make the tackle.
Do mark it at the 43.
2nd and 6 as we have 3:10 on a turning third quarter clock.
This time the toss goes to Brown. Brown gets hit in the backfield and gets back to the line of scrimmage and then some, as the spot will give him 2 yards. So 3rd and 4 upcoming for the Blazers.
John Jackson leading the charge defensively for Harrisonburg on that play. So a 3rd down and 4 for Spotswood.
Tight wing T formation. Takes the snap. Hand off to no one. They throw it down the field, and it's through the hands of his intended receiver as High hit Hunter Armentrout right in the hands, and the tight end dropped it.
Good pressure that time by Marcus Robinson Jenkins, but High did get the throw off, and it was a pretty good one, but Armentrout couldn't come up with it, and so the Harrisonburg D gets the stop. And with 2:29 to go in the third period, Blue Streaks are set to get the ball back on the 3rd punt by Atwell. He's averaged 39 yards a kick, including a 50-yarder his last time.
Snap is good. A high punt by Atwell, going to hit at the 28-yard line and scoot out of bounds. See where the official sets it down. He will put it at the 25-yard line, the Harrisonburg 25, which is where the Blue Streaks will start this drive with 2:15 to play in the third quarter.
30 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. So the Blue Streaks get it back down 21-7.
Again, the rain may be falling just a little, as it looks like there's a couple of drops on the puddle that I'm taking a look at, but it's not falling as hard as it was earlier in the game, but still slick conditions out here as Harrisonburg starts this drive. Taking the snap, hands off goes to Jaheim Anderson on the end around. He gets across the 25-yard line to the 26. Actually, they may give him the 27, which would be a pickup of 2 yards on the jet sweep.
Spotswood has done a pretty good job defensively throughout the night, except for that one big long run by Smiley of 48 yards. And this has been old-fashioned, 60s, 70s, Big Ten football right here. There's a lot of old school coaches that like this.
Minute 40 to play here in the third quarter, clock winding. 21-7. Spotswood leads. Handoff this time goes to White around the right side. He is down at the 30-yard line, a pickup of 3. 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Blue Streaks.
Ben Conahan in on the tackle for Spotswood as he was waiting for Austin White to come around the corner. 3-yard gain makes it a 3rd down and 5 for the Spotswood D. A chance to get off the field as we approach 1 minute to go in this third period.
Smiley going to go from the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to each side. Robinson Jenkins in the backfield with Smiley. Smiley now shifts him to the other side. Smiley sends a man into motion. That's White. Takes the snap. The ball is loose on the turf as it's scooted all the way back to the 20-yard line. Smiley jumps on top of it, but it's going to be a loss. And now they will have to punt.
Bad snap went right through his legs, and all Smiley could do was recover. It'll be a loss of 10 on the play, and it will be 4th down.
There was no air underneath of the snap.
Nope, it was a ground ball.
It just went straight through the legs of Smiley. So here's Perrick on for the punt. A high end-over-end kick. Going to hit at the 44, take a sideways bounce, and actually go backwards a yard. And the Trailblazers will start this drive at the Harrisonburg 45-yard line with 9/10 of a second on the clock.
24 yards on the punt, and Spotswood going to start on the Harrisonburg side of the field, 1st and 10 at the Blue Streaks 44-yard line on what will be the final play of the third quarter. Each team has found the end zone once in this third period. It was Barnhart on a 32-yard run for Spotswood, and Smiley a 1-yard quarterback sneak for Harrisonburg.
High takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to Brown. Brown lowers his head, spin move. He got a couple of yards before he got stood up. And a good tackle over there. I don't see who actually that was number 30 over there, which is Jalen Smith, who came up for the tackle, but that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Our score, Spotswood 21, Harrisonburg 7 of the fourth quarter. Coming up next as you're listening to our high school game of the week here on WSVA and WSVAonline.com.
I believe in being more than a Subaru retailer.
I believe in being part of the community.
In setting an example.
And building relationships.
And ensuring the love is felt not just by our customers, but by all.
Not because it's just good for business.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Bob Wade Subaru, a non-corporately owned family dealership founded 37 years ago by Bob Wade, whose vision was to help people buy cars with professionalism and care. Today we have those same values that provide the car buying experience with that personal touch that you won't find anywhere else. Only at Bob Wade Subaru. Score it the Wade way.
WSVAonline.com. Get set to start the fourth period with Spotswood on top 21-7. We switch ends of the field. Spotswood will begin this final period 2nd down and 8 at the Harrisonburg 42. Blazers go right to left across your WSVA radio dial, and the Blue Streaks go from our left to right.
One quick Wampler & Associates Rehab scoreboard update. It is 35-13. Riverheads lead Central in Greenville. This a run straight up the middle. It's going to be a pickup of a couple by Brennan Brown.
One other score, Buffalo Gap now leads Stonewall Jackson 62-0 in the third quarter.
I think I also saw Lee leads Page County 44-0. So a couple of blowouts going on across the area. Third down now for the Spotswood Trailblazers. 3rd and 4. They're in tight. Handoff goes to Brown. Brown gets stood up in the backfield. He's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard. And we'll see how Spotswood elects to play this one.
Brown tried to get over the 100-yard mark, but that loss of 1 will leave him at 98 by my count on 20 carries. And on 4th down and 5, the punt team comes in, and that's a good move by Coach Dale Shiflett. Make Harrisonburg go the length of the field. This will be the 4th punt for Atwell, and he has averaged 33 yards a kick.
Especially as well as he's been punting the football. Snap goes to Atwell. A high kick, going to be taken by Victor Lynch at the 16-yard line. Works his way to the side, goes over top of Ethan Barnhart, and he gets pushed out of bounds.
But it's going to come back. This is a penalty. Harrisonburg ran into the kicker, and this is going to give Spotswood a 1st down, I believe. They ran into the kicker, and Spotswood may get a 1st down out of this. I think they will.
Funny moment there for Avery Atwell as he picked up the flag and tried to give it to the official, and the official said, just leave it at that spot. So he set it down and then was like, okay, so what do I do now?
And well, you come off the field because I think Spotswood's offense is going to come back onto the field. I believe the 5-yard penalty will give them a 1st down.
Coming in, they were trying to block the punt. Somebody just got too much of the punter, and it gives Spotswood a penalty-assisted Munger Lumber 1st down now at the 34-yard line.
5th penalty against the Blue Streaks, and none bigger than that one. They were going to get the football back. Now Spotswood has a 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. That is the 10th 1st down for the Blazers.
Clock stopped at 10:33. High under center, loses the football, covers it up, and it's going to be a loss of 1.
Fumble on the play, recovered by Spotswood's number 7, Brian High.
Important thing there, didn't try to pick it up and do something with it. You just fall on the ball, live to have another play. Play will lose 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12. But for Spotswood, the important thing is they maintain possession. They've got the 2-score lead with just over 10 minutes to go in regulation.
Now they go power I. Brown the deep back, 2 receivers to the right. High takes the snap, hands it off to Brown. Brown swallowed immediately, and they drive him all the way back.
Tony Suarez, the junior, just kept pushing him. I mean, they pushed him about a good 10, 15 yards forward. Progress throw will give him the 37, maybe the 38. He'll lose a couple of more yards. So Brown, again, keeps hovering around 100 yards, but the last 2 carries have lost 3. And it's now 3rd down and 14. The line to make is the 24-yard line. But again, time is on Spotswood's side. We'll see if would you dare try to throw the ball here?
Well, they have a couple of talented wide receivers that we just have not seen, but High will look to throw the football. Throws it out to the right, but he threw it at the feet of his intended receiver. That was Robert Smith out there, as it was incomplete. So
that's actually High's, I believe, is it his first or second incomplete pass? He's 2 out of 4 with an interception. I think that's his first incompletion.
So Atwell going to be on for another punt.
His second. He's now 2 out of 5 with 2 incompletions and an interception.
Number 41, Avery Atwell sets the kick.
Atwell takes the snap. No rush this time. High punt. Going to hit inside the 20. Take a Spotswood roll and be down at the 13-yard line of Harrisonburg, which is where the Blue Streaks will start this drive with 8:54 to play here in the 4th quarter.
25 yards on the punt, but an effective punt as it pins Harrisonburg deep in its own territory at the 13 with under 9 minutes to go. And the Blue Streaks down by 2 touchdowns in this Valley District championship matchup. Late 3rd quarter, East Rockingham on top of Wilson Memorial, 42-6.
Working from the pistol. 3 receivers to the left. Ball loose on the turf. Tries the option pass. Somehow gets it off to Robinson Jenkins. Jenkins out in some open space. Spin move. He's across the 30. Taken down across the 35-yard line. And that was
unbelievable.
A pretty amazing play.
I was going to say, from near disaster, it was a bad snap. Smiley just picked it up and in his desperation just shoved the ball to Marcus Robinson Jenkins, who ends up picking up 23 yards.
Certainly not the way they drew it up. 36-yard line is where the ball was set down after the Munger Lumber first down. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Smiley going to keep it himself. Straight up the middle, not much doing, maybe got a yard.
Ball carried by number 9, Quentin Smiley.
Smiley 73 yards on 14 carries. Jenkins 62 yards on 10 carries.
Natives growing restless as they want Marcus Robinson Jenkins to get the football.
They're calling him, they say, feed the beast, feed the beast. Well, Spotswood's done a nice job on Jenkins and Smiley. Clock rolling as we go under 8 minutes to go. 2nd and 9 streaks. Make it 2nd and 8 streaks at the 38.
Yeah, they set it down at a gain of 2. So now they go once again, awkward option pass as Robinson Jenkins lowers his head, goes over top of a defender, and is taken down at the 40-yard line. A gain of a couple more.
Myers in on the tackle for Spotswood, but Jenkins lowered the boom and initiated the contact. A couple of 2-yard gains, and now Harrisonburg with a 3rd and 6. The nose of the football resting right on the 40-yard Harrisonburg stripe.
One thing they keep doing is they keep running that option toss to the short side of the field where there's not really much room to maneuver.
But I believe there's also 1 less defender, so there is the trade-off.
So working from the shotgun. Well, now it's Marcus Robinson Jenkins in. Takes the direct snap. Going to try the left side. Makes a move, makes another move, and he's going to only pick up 3 yards as he ran all the way across the field, but a great job by the Spotswood defense to string that out. And it's going to be 4th down for the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks.
But I think he got enough. He got 4 yards, so to make it 4th and 2, I think they're close enough that they're going to go for it. Nice patience by Marcus Robinson Jenkins. You mentioned Spotswood did a nice job. They strung the play out, but Jenkins just had the nice patience, just lowered the shoulder, got what he could, and it's 4th and 2, and the Blue Streaks are going to go for it.
4th and 2. Robinson Jenkins in again on the direct snap. Nothing doing as he got hit right at the line of scrimmage, in on the tackle. Big number 74, a man you've mentioned multiple times, Dallas Khalil.
He was there. He led the charge defensively. There was just no room. He took on a couple of blockers, shed them, and made the tackle. And Spotswood will take over on downs, 1st and 10 at the Harrisonburg 43-yard line with 6:16 to go in the ball game, and now the Blue Streaks perhaps starting to smell the Valley District Championship.
I believe that's the second time that the Spotswood defense has stopped Harrisonburg on 4th down in this game. And now, do we have a Waterworks water treatment timeout? We do. And it's a timeout for Spotswood. 6:16 to play here in the 4th quarter. We'll step aside our score. Spotswood 21, Harrisonburg 7. You're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week here on WSVA and WSVAOnline.com.
Let Husqvarna and Grandview Equipment help you with your calls. Leader in outdoor power.
We're more than talk. You can message, tag, and tweet us too. News Talk 92.1 and 550 WSVA.
Welcome back. Handoff goes to Ben Conahan. Conahan lowers his head, carries some tacklers all the way down the field inside the 5-yard line. And that's going to be a run of close to 40 yards for fullback Ben Conahan.
Wow, they just popped the fullback up the middle. The defenders are looking for either Brown or Barnhart, and they popped the fullback. And not only did he have good running, but he just wrestled and pushed Austin White out of the way, and then he rode Austin White all the way down to the 3-yard line to the Grace Custom Builders home red zone. It's 1st and goal at the 3 after a gain of 40.
They give it back to Conahan. Conahan picks up a couple of yards.
And he's into the
end zone for a touchdown.
How about that Conahan touchdown? Wow, 2 plays, and that may just about do it.
So Conahan with the 3-yard touchdown run makes this a 27-7 game with the Grandview Equipment PAT upcoming. Conahan's 2nd touchdown of the game. And after that big 40-yard run, he ends the drive with the touchdown. The PAT is up and good for Atwell. 5:55 to play here in the 4th quarter. Spotswood adds to its lead 28-7 over Harrisonburg. So you're listening to our high school game of the week here on WSVA, WSVAOnline.com.
We know that every penny counts, and prescription costs add up quickly. That's why at Medicare Pharmacy, our prices are always competitive or better than what you'll find at the big box stores. Just another way we put your needs first.
Eagle Carpet has been serving the Valley for the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
Harrisonburg on 4th down, and then just need 2 plays to go 43 yards. Conahan, whose first play goes for 40, finishes off the drive with a 3-yard run. The drive took 21 seconds, and the extra point now makes it 28-7 in favor of Spotswood, less than 6 minutes away from the Valley District title.
Avery Atwell on for another Landis Heating and Cooling kickoff. Run up, another pop kick, and that one's going to be caught.
It's caught on the far side by Spotswood.
Caught by Spotswood. I guess you could say, unofficial onside kick.
It was.
Comes through.
And, of course,
Spotswood gets the football.
The thing about that is you got to give the player a chance to catch the ball, but the problem is there was nobody in position to catch the ball.
And you've seen Gabe Perot call for a fair catch on a number of occasions, and coming in and making the catch, trying to see who that number is. Number 14.
That's Van Huss. John Van Huss, the senior. And now, of course, they're discussing it again. The key is, the referee's got to decide if the Spotswood player gave the Harrisonburg player a chance to catch the ball. Was Gabe Perot in position to catch the ball? And they're going to say, I believe he was in position to catch the football. I don't know about that. That's the key. Was Perot in position to catch the ball? If he is, then the player's got to give him a chance to catch it. If he's not in position, then, and of course, with this being a telemedia game, we have the luxury of a replay in front of us, and by that replay, I didn't think Perot was in position to catch the ball. And so, but the referee thought otherwise, and they're going to give Harrisonburg the football and a first down, because not only do they get the ball, but it's an interference penalty, so it's 15 yards, and Harrisonburg's going to start 1st and 10 at the Spotswood 44-yard line.
Well, it's not the first interesting call that we've seen on the kickoff, as once again a direct snap to Robinson Jenkins, bears his head, gets across the 40-yard line down to the 38-yard line. Of course, as you remember, there was a scrum on the opening kickoff on an onside kick attempt by Harrisonburg. That Harrisonburg came out of the pile with the football, but they gave it to Spotswood, and now Robinson Jenkins very gingerly coming off the field with that hurt ankle, which of course he had a leg injury that kept him out of the first half of the season. So now Smiley back in, or actually, is that Austin White? That is Austin White, and he's going to look to run. He gets hit from behind and drugged down for no gain.
Number 10, Ryan Schunk, in on the tackle. It looked like a quarterback draw all the way, and White gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no gain on the play.
So Robinson Jenkins is out, but I don't see Quentin Smiley on the sideline. So I don't know if that's an injury situation or a coaching decision, but nonetheless, Austin White will take the snaps as Victor Lynch will be behind him, 2 receivers to each side.
So Smiley and Jenkins are out, and they've combined for almost 150 yards of offense.
They go option toss to Victor Lynch. Lynch going to try to catch the edge. He cannot, and he's going to be taken down after a gain of a couple. 4th down upcoming for the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks.
Ripley Plaster in on the tackle for Spotswood. It'll be a gain of, I believe, of 1, and now any last hope for Harrisonburg might be this right here. It's 4th down and 3.
Inside of 4 minutes to play. 28-7 in favor of Spotswood in a very impressive defensive performance. White from the shotgun, 2 receivers each side. White takes the snap. He's going to run it to the left. He dives across.
He's got the first down.
And he's got the first down at the 32-yard line. A Munger Lumber first down will move the chains.
A big first down that time on 4th and 3. He gets 4. And Harrisonburg keeps the football, but they got to operate with a little more urgency. They're down 3 scores, and there's only 3.5 minutes to go, and the clock is moving. Of course, the Blue Streaks out there, 2 top guys, Smiley and Jenkins, are both on the sideline.
Well, now in, it's number 11.
That's Jaheim Anderson, I believe, or is that Ryan Muncie? That's
Ryan Muncie. He loses the football on the snap. He tucks it. He's going to try to pick it up. He gets hit from behind.
Good alert play by Muncie, because it was a bad snap, and he had to retreat all the way back close to the 40-yard line, past the 40-yard line. He picked it up, had a couple of guys bearing down on him, and he did well just to get back to the line of scrimmage or close to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard.
So you got to believe injuries to Robinson Jenkins and to Quentin Smiley. They run the option toss to Lynch. Lynch on the right side, dives for the pylon. Is he in? Touchdown.
How about that?
Option toss to Victor Lynch on the right side, and he goes 32 yards for the touchdown. Makes things a little interesting for the moment.
How about the Blue Streaks not giving up with the backups in as Muncie takes the snap, runs the option, pitches it to Lynch, and he just used great speed to outrun two would-be defenders to the corner. Last chance was Robert Smith. He tried to push him out of bounds. He did not get there in time, and the 33-yard touchdown run by Lynch makes it 28-13 with a 2:21 to go.
On for the Grandview Equipment PAT, and it's blocked. Mateo Perrick has it blocked
by number 20, Ripley Plaster. Remember last week against Rockbridge, it was Ripley Plaster who blocked a field goal and returned it 75 yards for a touchdown. He came off the right side again and blocked the extra point.
So following the touchdown run, our score is now Spotswood 28, Harrisonburg 13, 2:21 to play here in the fourth quarter as you're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week on WSVA and WSVAonline.com.
Carbon has been serving the Valley for the past 54 years and is looking forward to the next 50.
Our experienced staff offers the best local service in the industry and the widest selection of products available on the market today, including luxury vinyl planks, ceramic and porcelain tiles, and a large selection of long-lasting carpets. Finish your home improvement project with paints from Porter and PPG. For the best selection of quality products, expert installation, and competitive prices, there is no better choice than Eagle Carpet.
I believe in being more than a Subaru retailer.
I believe in being part of the community.
In setting an example.
And building relationships.
And ensuring the love is felt not just by our customers, but by all.
Not because it's just good for business.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Pizza. Time for a Landis Heating and Cooling onside kick.
And it's going to be taken by, I believe that was Barnhart, who then gets pushed out of bounds. Spotswood will have possession with 2:21 on the clock. And we'll look to salt this one away.
Have 2 timeouts left. But Spotswood will take over at the 43-yard line. And I think each team has 2 timeouts left. And Spotswood's going to go 8 wins in a row and improved to 8-1. And after holding Rockbridge's high-powered offense to 7 points this week, they give up a late touchdown, but 13 points to a pretty good Harrisonburg team.
Handoff goes to the fullback. That's Conahan. Conahan across the 45-yard line to the 46-yard line. And we have a timeout for Harrisonburg. A Waterworks water treatment timeout. Tap into better water with Waterworks Water Treatment. WaterworksWater.com. We'll step aside. 2:13 to play here in the fourth quarter. 28-13. Spotswood leads as you're listening to the Superior Concrete Game of the Week on WSVA. WSVAonline.com.
Train test range.
Sports-related injuries have become
The search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.
or find us online at wamplerrehab.com.
Listen on your Amazon Echo or Dot. Listen on your Google Home. Visit WSVAonline.com to find out how. That's WSVAonline.com.
Wing T formation for Spotswood. Brown takes it around the right side, tries to spin back towards the middle of the field, falls forward to the 49-yard line. And another Waterworks water treatment timeout for Harrisonburg. We believe That is their last one.
I think it's their last one. They may have. I think it is their last one.
And that is with 2:05 to play here in the fourth quarter. Third down upcoming for the Blazers while we have this timeout. Let's take a look at our Wappler and Associates Rehab scoreboard score update. At last check, Riverheads leads Central 35-19. That is with under 4 minutes to play.
Fourth quarter, East Rockingham leads Wilson Memorial 54-14.
Luray has jumped out in front of Stuart Strath. That was an 18-18 game. It's now 40-18 in favor of Luray over Stuart Strath. Of course, Luray will make the trip to East Rock next week to wrap up the regular season.
R.A. Lee in the fourth quarter leading the Page County Panthers 44-8.
The official steps away as we get ready for action here. Taking the snap, handoff goes to Brown around the right side, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, picks up the Munger Lumber first down, dives across the 45-yard line, down to the 44. The clock will stop to move the chains. That's pretty much
that's going to do it.
Wrap this one up.
And that's also going to put Brown over 100 yards by my count, 105 yards on 23 carries on that 7-yard Munger Lumber first down run. And that's going to do it. The Blazers are going to be the Valley District champions as they will run out the clock here, the final minute 56 of this one. And winners of 8 in a row, they're going to go to 8-1. Harrisonburg will drop to 5-4 and suffer its first district loss. They'll finish in second place in the district.
High going to stare down the official. Make sure he uses as much time as he can. Clock is at 1:40 and rolling. Right now they're in a wing T formation. High goes under center. Takes the snap. Hands it off to the fullback Conahan. Conahan lowers his head. Picks up close to 6 yards on first down. Conahan's had a good game running the football.
Well, by my count, he's up to 67 yards on 9 carries, including a 40-yard run, but more importantly, he's got 2 touchdown runs. And I think Spotswood, all they have to do now is take a couple of knees, and this one's over. As the clock approaches 1 minute to go in this one, the Blazers 8-1, 5-0 in the district, and they'll take on Fort Defiance next week for a chance to be the outright Valley District champions.
Once again, High staring down the official. Goes under center, takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Conahan. This time Conahan gets hit at the line of scrimmage, driven backwards. Never taken down, but gets pushed back all the way. They will set the football down.
And the clock is winding down, and they do not have to snap it. They do not have to snap it. They can let the clock run out and win this football game 28-14.
It looks like they will snap it, though, one more time.
They don't have to.
This time more from the victory formation. High stares off to the right.
They don't have to snap it.
Clock is at 5 seconds. And they don't. Clock winds down on this one. And Spotswood wins it 28-13 over the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks. And Spotswood, as Mario mentioned, winners of 8 straight, and also win the Valley District Championship with 1 game left to play. More importantly, though, with this victory over Harrisonburg, we'll have to see how exactly it vaults them in the standings, if at all.
They could, Pops. They started the night 2.3 points behind second place Brookville. This all will, without a doubt, will assure them to at least host 1 playoff game, and maybe depending on how things shake out, they could surpass the Brookville Bees and get up to that number 2 position and possibly host Brookville in the second round of the playoffs.
So Spotswood led 14-0 at the half, and they win this one 28-13 over the Harrisonburg Blue Streaks here in a wet and wild Harrisonburg. Our final score, once again, 28-13. We'll have our Jenkins Insurance post-game show coming up next. You're listening to our Superior Concrete Game of the Week here on WSVA, WSVAonline.com.